This is Pulse of Africa, the face and voice of Africa. The story of resurgent and burgeoning Africa is here, only on the Pulse of Africa channel. Pulse of Africa, the face and voice of Africa.
Hello viewers, I'm Gamachisa Mandida from Pulse of Africa News, bringing you the latest stories and updates from across the continent. First, Kenya. President William Ruto, in his 2025 State of the Nation address, unveiled 4 key national priorities to drive Kenya's next phase of development: education, irrigation, energy, and transport and logistics. He highlighted major reforms and increased investment in education, including the rise of the sector's budget from 490 billion Kenyan shilling to 700 billion. He said the government aims to scale up STEM, training, innovation, and research funding to 2% of GDP. Ruto also stressed the need to shift Kenya from a net importer to a net exporter by expanding irrigation. He proposed constructing 50 mega dams, 200 medium and small dams, and thousands of micro dams to irrigate 2.5 million acres. On infrastructure, he announced plans to dual 2,500 kilometers of highways, tarmac 28,000 kilometers of roads, and extend the standard gauge railway (SGR) from Naivasha to Kisumu and later to Malaba. He said achieving these priorities estimated to cost 5 trillion Kenyan shilling, which will be supported by a new national infrastructure fund and sovereign wealth fund to reduce reliance on borrowing. Ruto thanked Parliament and Kenyans for supporting national progress and urged leaders to be judged by their actions and impact. Namibia. Namibia is accelerating its digital modernization agenda through new policies, infrastructure upgrades, and strategic reforms, ICT Minister Emma Thifilis said Thursday. At an ICT stakeholders meeting in Ohanwega, she announced a 145 million Namibian dollar investment over 3 years to expand connectivity and narrow the digital divide. The government is also advancing a national 5G rollout to strengthen digital infrastructure and support machine-to-machine communication across sectors. Key legislative reforms are underway, with the revised Data Protection Bill awaiting final approval and the Cybercrime Bill set for completion by the end of November. The national broadband policy has been updated, increasing the minimum national speed target from 2 megabytes per second to 25 by 2026. The National Cyber Security Incident Response Team is now fully operational, enhancing cyber defense coordination. Theophilus added that the government is backing the creative industry with 2 new film hubs to be launched in the Zambezi and Oshikoto regions.
They shaped history. They inspire generations. They are the notables. Join us as we honor Africa's greatest minds and trailblazers, the notables, celebrating Africa's icons.
Chinese Premier Li Qiang said China is ready to work with Zambia and Tanzania to transform the Tanzania-Zambia Railway, TAZARA, into a new economic growth corridor. He spoke in Lusaka during the groundbreaking of the railway's revitalization project, joined by President Hakainde Hichilema and Tanzania Vice President Emmanuel Nchimbi. Li highlighted the solid progress made since the 3 countries signed an MOU in 2024, calling TAZARA a landmark of China-Africa cooperation. He urged high-quality construction and said China will also support small and beautiful community projects along the road in areas such as health, agriculture and poverty reduction. Hichilema and Nchimbi described the railway as a monument to long-standing friendship and a symbol of shared aspirations for independence, solidarity and development. They said the revitalization reflects the country's joint commitment to a better future and will showcase strengthened China-Africa cooperation. The upgraded railway is expected to boost regional connectivity and economic growth. The three governments also issued a joint statement on building a Tazara prosperity belt. The EU, UNHCR and WFP have signed a €10 million 3-year agreement to support 3,200 refugee families and 800 host families in Rwanda. The project aims to help households reduce dependence on aid through toolkits, targeted cash support and training in entrepreneurship and climate-smart agriculture across 5 refugee camps. The initiative will also strengthen village savings and loans groups and connect beneficiaries to markets and financial services to ensure long-term resilience. Officials said the program aligns with Rwanda's strategy to help half of all refugee households achieve sustainable livelihoods by 2030. Rwanda hosts more than 136,000 refugees, mainly from the DRC and Burundi, many of whom have relied on humanitarian assistance for years. In recent years, Rwanda, one of Africa's leading proponents of refugee inclusion, has adopted progressive policies allowing refugees access to work permits, national education systems and financial services. The EU said the partnership reflects its commitment to long-term stability and economic inclusion in the region. Now to business news. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa met with European Union Council President Antonio Costa and European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen at the Sandton Convention Centre in Johannesburg for the South Africa-European Union Summit. The talks focused on strengthening cooperation on trade and investment, energy security, digital transformation, climate change, peace building and reform of the international financial system. President Cyril Ramaphosa emphasized deepening trade, energy and peace cooperation with the European Union.
We see this as a positive sign, very positive, because, as I've often said, boycott politics never work. It's always best to be inside the tent than being outside of the tent. The tent is the G20. All countries are here.
European Union Commission President European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen highlighted the European Union's commitment to strengthening the partnership with South Africa, supporting sustainable growth, energy security and regional stability.
We signed our clean trade and investment partnership, and you must know this is the very first time that the European Union is signing such a partnership. So you are a highly valued partner for a clean trade and investment partnership. This will boost, of course, trade and investment. It will boost it in key clean sectors, green hydrogen, renewables, many more.
In a joint media briefing, they underscored priorities for the South Africa-European Union strategic partnership, including boosting economic ties, enhancing energy and climate collaboration, promoting regional peace and security, and fostering sustainable shared growth. The summit reinforced the commitment of both sides to deepen collaboration and explore new avenues for economic and strategic engagement in the region. Vodacom Group is reportedly in early discussions with the Kenyan government to acquire part of its 35% stake in Safaricom, East Africa's largest mobile operator. The Johannesburg-based telecom giant already holds a 39.93% share and is considering increasing its ownership, though no final decisions have been made. Both Vodacom and Kenya's National Treasury declined to comment. Safaricom, currently valued at $9.13 billion, dominates Kenya's mobile market with nearly two-thirds of subscribers and operates the widely used M-Pesa mobile money platform. The potential sale is part of the government's broader strategy to raise revenue and manage public debt through partial privatization of key state-owned assets. This move follows previous proposals, including Treasury Secretary John Mudabi's August plan to split Safaricom into 3 units, which could have reduced the government's stake. Safaricom shares have gained momentum, more than doubling over the past year, making the timing favorable for the potential transaction. Moving to sports news, the Democratic Republic of Congo will face the winner of the intercontinental playoff between New Caledonia and Jamaica for a spot in the 2026 FIFA World Cup. DR Congo, seeking their first World Cup appearance since 1974 when they played as Zaire, are bolstered by a talented squad featuring Europe-based stars. Confidence is high as they prepare for the decisive fixture. New Caledonia enters as underdogs, while Jamaica's Reggae Boys aim to return to the World Cup stage for the first time since 1998. The playoff winner will secure qualification. The playoff winner will secure qualification for the expanded 48-team tournament across the United States, Mexico and Canada, setting the stage for a high-stakes showdown watched by fans across the globe. Finally, Nigeria has risen to 38th place in the latest FIFA Men's World Rankings, according to the global football governing body. Despite the climb, the Super Eagles remain behind Africa's top 5 teams, Morocco, Senegal, Egypt and Algeria, who continue to dominate the continental rankings. Spain retains the #1 spot in the FIFA Coca-Cola Men's World Ranking, with Argentina, France and England following closely. Nigeria's recent results contributed to their rise, including a 4-1 victory over Gabon and a 1-1 draw with DR Congo, followed by a 4-3 loss on penalties. Though Nigeria's climb offers limited consolation after missing out on the 2026 World Cup, the update comes at a crucial time ahead of the Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco this December. A strong performance at the tournament could further boost the Super Eagles' ranking and consolidate their position on the continental and global stage. Up next, we'll take a look at the current weather forecast. Thank you for tuning into Pulse of Africa News. Continue with us for more essential stories from across the continent.